Meet Daniel, maybe a version of you. His alarm screams at 6:30 a.m. He races through traffic and he spends his best energy pushing someone else's goals forward. The days blur. Work, home, repeat. The paycheck lands, the bills swallow it, and the calendar flips. You might be wondering, is this all there is? What if escaping this treadmill was possible, even if you're starting with just $100? What if I told you there are 7 proven wealth-building machines that nearly every millionaire leverages? Today, you'll see the full blueprint, how to escape the rat race forever with practical, step-by-step moves rooted in smart personal finance and real-world wealth building. Think about your biggest financial frustration: debt, no savings, no plan, inconsistent income. Hold it. By the end, you'll have an actionable path to flip that pain into progress. If you've ever felt like you're sprinting hard but staying in the same spot, welcome to the rat race, the work-pay-spend loop that feels like a hamster wheel. Money comes in, bills fly out, and you reset the clock every 2 weeks. It's not just draining your wallet, it's draining your time. If you've ever felt stuck trading time for money, you're not alone. Around 60% of Americans lived paycheck to paycheck in 2024, according to Lending Club. According to a 2024 Bankrate survey, more than half of Americans said they couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. And in survey after survey, nearly 2/3 say the bar for feeling financially comfortable keeps rising. Financial independence isn't a single magic number. It's autonomy, the freedom to choose how you spend your time without being chained to a paycheck. Think of it as shifting from survival mode to financial freedom. That shift starts with financial education and the psychology of money, the beliefs you carry about earning, spending, and security. Upgrade your money mindset, and you change the game you're playing. Imagine your bills and receipts flying around like a paper storm. Now, picture them snapping into a clean dashboard where you're in control. That's the power of financial clarity, and it's your starting line for building real wealth. Most people leap into saving or investing before they even know where they stand. If you want to get financially independent, you need to get brutally honest with your numbers. First, benchmark your net worth. Total up what you own, cash, investments, home equity, and subtract what you owe, credit cards, loans. That number is your scoreboard. For context, a recent Schwab survey found Americans say it takes about $839,000 to feel financially comfortable, but clarity matters more than the number. Next, map your expenses. Pull the last 90 days of transactions. Sort into needs, wants, and goals. Identify fixed versus variable costs and calculate your savings rate. Income minus expenses divided by income. Improve it by 1% each month and you'll feel the momentum. Roughly 45% of Americans now use budgeting apps, proof that money management tools work when you check them regularly. The trick is consistency. Review your spending monthly and look for patterns. Under the hood is your money mindset. In personal finance, growth in your accounts follows growth in your identity and skills. Tie your personal development to your income. Learn a new skill, negotiate, build a side income, then set smart goals. Define what financial independence looks like for you and why it matters. Picture this. You're racing toward financial freedom and suddenly out jumps a gang of debt monsters blocking your path. Credit cards, car loans, maybe old student loans, each one slowing you down. Most Americans say rising expenses and emergencies are their top barriers to saving money. But with smart money management and a bit of financial education, you can regain speed. Step 1. Burn bad debt. High interest balances are like holes in your bucket. No matter how fast you pour, it leaks. Credit cards often charge over 20% APR, so target these first. List every balance with its interest rate. Keep minimums on all, then funnel every extra dollar to the highest APR. This is also called the avalanche method. Step 2. Build your safety net. Emergencies aren't if, they're when. Start with a 1-month starter fund, then grow to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Automate weekly transfers into a high-yield savings account, earning roughly 4 to 5% APY. Step 3. Optimize expenses without feeling deprived. Swap 2 restaurant meals for homemade. Audit subscriptions. One survey found people spend over $200 per month, often on services they rarely use. Negotiate insurance and phone bills. Use a 24-hour rule before impulse buys. Relying on one paycheck is like crossing a canyon on a single plank. One crack, a layoff, a medical bill, and everything shakes. If your approach feels scattered, your capital is limited, and you need stronger income sources, here's the fix. Build multiple streams that support each other. Let's start with active income. You might be thinking, do I need to start a huge company? Not at all. Entrepreneurship can be as simple as launching a small consulting gig or turning a hobby into a business. Upwork reports about 64 million Americans freelance last year, roughly 38% of the workforce, because adding a second engine boosts stability. But you don't need a groundbreaking idea to start. Side hustles are more accessible than ever. Think driving for rideshare apps, reselling products online, or jumping into gig work. Author Tom Corley found that most self-made millionaires maintain multiple income streams, often 3 or more, because redundancy reduces risk. Now, the shift from effort to systems. Passive income. Think of passive income like planting seeds. Once they grow, you collect the fruit again and again. Classic examples: rental properties. Each unit can mean monthly checks with relatively minimal effort after setup. Dividend stocks and index funds. The S&P 500's average annual return sits around 10%, and by reinvesting those dividends, your money compounds. Royalties and online products. Write an ebook, build an online course, license your photos, create once, earn again and again. Let's talk about the part of wealth building that feels exciting and intimidating at the same time. Investing. If you've hesitated because you don't know where to start or think you need a lot of cash, you're not alone. Recent national surveys show most U.S. adults answer only about half of basic financial questions correctly. The gap isn't money, it's knowledge. Let's close it. Imagine your money as seeds and the stock market as different gardens. Stocks, you own a slice of a company. If it grows, your slice grows. Bonds, you lend money and collect interest, usually steadier, slower growth. Index funds, a big basket of companies. If a few wilt, the basket still thrives. Here's how to invest with small amounts. Thanks to fractional shares, you can start for the cost of a coffee. The magic is compounding. Earnings that earn more earnings. Invest $50 a month at 8%, and in 30 years, you're around $74,000. Double it to $100, and you're near $150,000. Reinvesting dividends supercharges this. Prefer real estate? You don't need a down payment. REITs let you own pieces of income-producing properties for under $100, giving you exposure to rent and appreciation without fixing a single leaky faucet. Curious about alternatives? Crypto can soar or swing 10% in a day and has seen drawdowns over 80%, so size it small. Crowdfunding opens doors to startups and solar farms, but can be illiquid. Commodities like gold often move differently than stocks, helping balance your mix. Here's the psychology of money part. Resist fear of missing out. Match your portfolio to your risk tolerance. Automate contributions and let time do the heavy lifting. Picture a simple pie chart. Stocks, bonds, real estate, and a small slice of alternatives built for your goals. Imagine your finances as a financial freedom blueprint, a machine with 7 levers: budgeting, saving, investing, side hustles, debt reduction, protection, and learning. Pull one lever and the gears turn a little. Pull several together and the engine for financial independence really hums. So, let's integrate with practical wisdom. Build a simple monthly action plan. Budget. Assign every dollar a job before the month starts. Save. Automate a transfer the day after payday into a high-yield savings account. Invest. Set a recurring buy into a low-cost index fund. Even $50 counts. Side hustle. Block one 60-minute session each week to build or sell. Check progress. Use a visual dashboard to track net worth, savings rate, and debt paydown. What gets measured gets managed. Your goal isn't perfection, it's momentum. If 6 of 7 machines are working, you're almost there. That's powerful money management inside a personal finance system designed to run on autopilot. Pause and map one thing you will implement this week from each avenue. Write it down, then start. Small, consistent moves compound into freedom. You've built your wealth engine. Now comes the real test. Keeping it running when the road gets steep. Think of long-term wealth like a mountain hike. You start energized, but halfway up, your legs burn and your mind wanders. That's not a failure of discipline. It's normal psychology. So, how do you make financial independence a marathon you truly finish? First, make self-assessment a ritual. Do a quick dashboard check every week. Expenses, savings rate, progress to financial freedom, and one lesson learned. Celebrate small wins to release dopamine and lock in habits. A special dinner at 10% net worth growth. A guilt-free day off when you hit an investing milestone. Tiny rewards compound consistency, but don't do it alone. Accountability multiplies momentum. One study, often cited by the American Society for Training and Development, found you're 65% more likely to achieve a goal if you commit it to someone. Regular check-ins can push that to 95%. Find a wealth buddy. join an online community, and swap practical wisdom. You'll borrow courage on tough weeks and share it back on strong ones. Here you have it. 7 machines to pave your way into financial freedom. The big takeaway? You don't escape the rat race by sprinting harder. You build systems that work while you sleep. Financial independence is the result of interlocking strategies: saving on autopilot, investing early, and stacking income streams, not hype or shortcuts. And you're not alone in wanting this. 67% of Americans say financial independence is a top life goal, yet most overestimate the dollar amount and underestimate the power of consistency. Even small, steady contributions, think $10 a day, can snowball into 6 figures over time. Imagine waking up and choosing your day instead of reacting to it. To travel, support your family, or retire early on your terms. That's the real promise. Ready to pick your path? Drop a comment with the wealth avenue you'll start on. Writing it down boosts your odds of success by 42%. Plus, your note might spark someone else's breakthrough. Subscribe for bite-sized, actionable guides and ongoing support. Let's build a freedom-focused community and make your money work while you sleep. See you in the next one.